No, seriously, you guys are the lucky people. If you have family living with you, if you have food that's always ready, if you are, you're chilling. But anyway, let's move on. So, hi guys, I hope we're all good. I'm going to jump straight to what we're going to discuss and build together. So, I will just begin by sharing my screen. I will share screen too. Can you all see my screen? It's blank, right? It should all be seen. By seeking and blundering, you learn, right? You can all see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see.
Awesome. So we're going to try to build something like we've already built before, that's address gratia. But in a different way. And I'm going to try to explain some concepts of automation. We're going to do some aggregation of data. Yeah, so we built this a while ago. And, you know, we have like data for diesel, petrol, kerosene, and cooking gas, LPG in 12.5 kg and 5 kg. And we're just going to build like a simplified version of this, so to say, right? They're mainly focusing on trend analysis, right? So particularly, I want to see some of the, you know, this spike when essentially like the I want to see this spike, and I also want to see what's happening like this year since oil price crashed and since they removed like the, what do you call it, they removed some or reduced the price of a liter of kerosene, I mean a liter of AGO, which is diesel, and PMS, and yeah. So to begin, I'll just go out of this and go into so the data for the trends is coming from the National Bureau of Statistics, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of data there. You just have to know which, you know, what you want to do and how you need to accomplish your goal essentially. So for this, I can go to eLibrary. I remember, and then from eLibrary, what we're looking for is AGO, right? We're looking for the latest reports, and it looks like the latest reports are from February 2020. So let's take a look at that. How do you click it? Ooh, MBS. So they do this interesting report, infographic report, so to say, same format over and over again. You can view the report. Actually, I think we should download both. right? Why is this taking time? Okay. Let's download table and then download reports too. Okay, 5.4 megabytes. I'll close this and look for PMS and equally kerosene. Let's do this. You can see PMS here, which stands for petrol. I'm going to download it as well. This one I'll just download the table, close it, and I'm looking for kerosene. Um, Actually, let me take a look at something. What's this under? Select sector. Oh, I can see National Household Kerosene Price Watch, which the last update was in January 2020. Let me go back to the first page. There we go. National Household Kerosene Price Watch, February 2020. So I'm going to download that. And we have those three. Let me put them in a folder, nice and neat. Might not be able to see this now, but just bear with me a second. You would be able to in a bit. 1218, 1218. What was the one that was not on? Diesel fresh. Okay. Um, this, 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 Ctrl X, Ctrl V. Guys, feel free to just stop me and ask me a question if you need to. I'm not entirely sure of everyone's like Excel analytics or Power BI proficiency, but I'm going to go ahead as if I will try to be as explicit as possible in my descriptions.
No problem, sir.
So I'm going to rename all this real quick. How do you do it? This, then this. I can just say diesel. So February 2020. I'll rename this as well.
Sorry, but I thought this data is for 2015.
2015. No, this is for 2020. It's. I'll open it real quickly. It should contain everything
Okay.
from 2015 to up to date. And this. All right. Let's take this down. And let's take a look at the AGL price watch, the diesel price watch report by MBS.
Yeah, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
I was away for a while. The Nigerian state coordinate file, did you just download it or you had it before?
No, I had that before.
Okay.
I had that before. If you're following along, right, let me see. If you're following along right now, I will share. You know what? I mean,
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
let me pin my video and how do you do this thing? Oh, okay. I'm here. I think. I'll send it via chat. Um, so yeah, if you're following along, you can check chat. You should see those coordinates sent to you. Anyway, subsequently, I'll send it to
Yeah.
those that missed the webinar. So cool. So I wanted to take a quick look at this report, right? Okay, so what they do is in March, right, they report for the previous month or everything up onto the previous month, right? They report for everything up onto the previous month. And table of contents. The executive summary tells you, yeah, states to the highest, states to the lowest. I thought they reduced the price of diesel though, or was it only PMS? Was it only petrol? We'll find out. So here, I think we'll probably have to zoom in to see this. Average diesel price across states, and this is for February 2020. Not the best chart to show this, especially since it's not ranked. This is done in alphabetical order anyway. And here you can see year on year. So that's this current price, 226 naira per liter versus last year's February price. And then this is month on month. It's saying month on month, which is saying that comparing February 2020, right, with January 2020, within the same year. What else? What else? So there's an average that is done across the geopolitical zones, right? Average across geopolitical zones. And can we easily tell which zone is the most expensive? 220, Southeast 26.53. And here, what do we have here? Average diesel price across states. So this is the monthly monthly diesel price from February 2019 up to February 2020. And how did they do this? It's a bit confusing to be honest, but I think it goes from February, March, April, May, June, July, then August, and September, October, November, December, January. So it's like I want to try something cool here. Roll a line. So it goes like 0. Where let me clear and close this share the Nigerian coordinates. I thought that I already did that. I'll reshare. Okay, thanks, Sadiq. Awesome. Okay, and here's the here's the raw here's the raw data that we're going to be playing with. Here's the raw data we're going to be playing with in Excel, but they attached it equally, right? And to where you can see that they have it from say June 2015, right, all the way up to February 2020, right?
I can see.
Cool. So yeah, so let's move on from this. And this is their methodology, right? They have about 700 MBS field staff, right, that go around collecting fuel prices across all the 774 local government areas in Nigeria and including the FCT. Yeah, funny thing is, since I started looking at this report, the number of field staff haven't changed. I wonder why. Okay. So I'm closing this and I'll open the Excel file. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. You guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going on here? Sometimes we need to enable editing for everything. Okay. Info. This always like makes me a bit very happy, a bit happy though. Whenever you see the last person who modified the file. You guys know who this is?
What?
You guys know who this is? Yemi
Yes.
Khaled.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that he's the last person who modified the file?
Are you sure you actually did? Somebody from his system.
Or somebody from his system. Well, I wouldn't be surprised that he's not the one. But I would, data quality is, is, is very, very important. So let's take a look at how they're reporting this. And then we'll try to see the best way to combine this in Power BI, and most importantly, best way to combine this for continuous reporting. So a little bit on automation here, like report automation. This is visual, so you have the states on one column here, and then they're reporting, they're using what you call it. So the first day of each month, essentially the month and year, and why am I using and they're reporting it every month, column wise, all the way up to February 2020, right?
Yeah.
Let's also see what they're doing at the bottom of this. So they're calculating like a sort of average here. The average of the entire, like for June 2015, for all the states, was the average price. It's the same formula across. And here they're doing month on month, right? So you know the formula for month on month, essentially, right? This month minus this month over this month, right? So let's see how that is. What I was saying is for month on month, you would say this month minus this month over this month, previous month, right? And then you can turn it into percentage, or minus 4.1, minus 4.19%, right? That's how you calculate month on month, right? So let me delete that. And then what are they doing here? Year on year, right? So of course it had to be like a year after June 2015, 12 months after, before you calculate year on year. And very similar formulas to this current minus that over previous, current minus previous over previous times 100. I'm not exactly following the formula here, but get the idea of how it works. And then here they do some other aggregations. Okay, someone says multiply this current month over previous month minus 1 times 100. That's another, yeah, that's another way. What did I say? What did I say? I said or. Let me say or. It's the same thing. Current CURR minus previous over previous. And 100. Okay. So here, states with the highest average price. They have not used any formula here. They must have done it manually. But I don't know for what period they did this, whether it's February 2020, most likely February 2020, the last day. Wait, hold up. This data is for February 2020, but then I'm not sure they changed the tab here, because the tab is still showing January 2020. But let me confirm that they have February 2020. Okay, so it's February 2020. Yeah. Okay, cool. Same with state with the lowest price. What else can we find out? So over at the right here, they do, what do they do here? They do year on year, and here they do month on month. So they just calculate it for the last 2 months. Okay, so you can see the formula yeah, month on month, current minus actual over current minus previous over previous times 100. Yeah. Set. Don't tell them to check their spam. It has been sent to them, they registered. Huh? Yeah, no, last night. Um, yeah, so they do that for all the states, month on month, year on year for all the states. And yeah, I think that's about it. That's this format. That's the format for where we're looking at automotive gas oil, diesel. Let me just change this to let me change this to let me just type diesel here. Diesel. I'll save this as is. And then what do we have here? We have kerosene. This is a gallon of kerosene. I'm not going to use a gallon. I'm going to use a liter because that's what we can compare with um, with the other fuels, right? The other fuel, liquid fuels. We're talking petrol and diesel. So 1 liter. You have the states here as well. You have the monthly prices, right? Column wise, all the way up to February 2020 again. And yeah, this is the same month on month and year on year for each state. And they also did, yeah, same thing here. Probably states with the highest price and states with the lowest price. Same, the exact same format. Nothing different about the structure here. Let's check petrol, I believe. Petrol. So safe to say, okay. States here, month. Wait, hold up. Okay, these ones are putting item labels and units of measure and all that. Okay. Here, this one actually started. Wow. Column B, column C, nothing is hidden. I see there's a jump from January 2016, right, up to May 2017. You have, no, sorry, March 2017. You have over a year of missing data. You guys can see that, right? So, funny. Okay. But it's the exact same thing, same format. Now let's aggregate the data and put the data into Power BI. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll close all this. Right, I'll close this. I'll close this. I'll close this as well. I have this. I'll close this. Close it. And I'm essentially just going to duplicate. Okay, can't find duplicates here. Copy, Ctrl V, copy, Ctrl V, copy, Ctrl V, copy, Ctrl V. And I want to.
I'd like to ask, is there any like standard of genuine professionalism for doing that, for copying, duplicating the files.
Yes. So for this, because I want to test out the automation, I want to test out, like, say, updating a file. How easy would it be, like, to make it, to update the file, so to say? Yeah, that's why I'm trying to do this. So let's imagine that Diesel, this is a copy. Instead of February 2020, we're going to delete some data, and we're going to have the data up until December 2019. So we're going to work with all the December 2019 files, after which we will update them with February 2020 data, like data up to February 2020, and refresh the Power BI report and see how well, you know, the reports automatically refreshes, right? Is anybody confused?
No.
I'm following along.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, just to be sure, what you're trying to do now is you want to build a model with December data and refresh with February data, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So I open December. Huh. Hmm. I open December 2019 data, and then because I want to build a model, right? I know, like, there's some things that I wouldn't need, right? So I don't need this sheet. I actually don't need any of this. Can remove it in Power BI and all that, but sometimes I just like removing them in Excel straight away. So December 2019 is where we're going to end it. I'll delete everything all the way up to this point, right? We want only data, right? Only row and column, no calculations inside, because we can do all those other calculations subsequently. Someone sent a message. What's that? Sorry, please can you send Excel file to field current? I'm having issues downloading from Power BI, from MBS. Okay, let me send it to everyone. Let's go here. Which one should I send now? Let me send it 2020. Yeah. Okay, cool. So no calculations. Sorry, you saying someone saying something? Okay. No calculations. I'm taking this out, right? I just press Ctrl minus after highlighting the columns. Yeah, same with this. Highlight the entire column, press Ctrl minus, gone. Yeah, that's about it. I think this is what we need. I'll save this, close it. I can open. So that was, okay, 12:46. I'll do the same for December 2019, petrol, December 2019. Enable editing. Same thing here. Take this out. Minus minus go all the way minus but you don't want any of this. Um, States, January 2016, March, April, May, June, etc. We don't understand why we have different fonts. Okay, just checking again, states all the way up to December 2019. Cool. And I will remove all the other calculations as well. All the way to the bottom. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. Yeah. Then let me rename this sheet to petrol. This is petrol. Petrol, right? Petrol. All right. And then I'll save it. Save. We want to set up a structure in which when you need to update it, all we have to do is come here and drop the new data, right? Go to a different row and drop the new data. That's all. So I'll close that. And this is kerosene. They have gallon. I don't need a gallon. I'll delete it. These entire rows. I need this or this because I know it's 1 liter already. I need to take out, nope, take out December 20, so up to December 2019. And same thing, delete this ones, move, sweet. Okay, so just call this Carol. And I will save. Okay. Is everybody with me up to now? Yo, we may say I.
Hi.
Awesome.
I
So I will save this and I'll close it. So essentially what we've created is, just to recap, we had data up to February 2020 for both diesel and kerosene, and equally for petrol. But what we did was we said we wanted to try to create a reporting format that allows you to say automatically refresh your report in Power BI, right? So we deleted data for January 2020 and February 2020, and then we created separate and put them in separate files, right? So then we now have data up to December 2019 for diesel, petrol, and kerosene. Now it is with these actually maybe since we'll be using this to report continuously, right? I think we shouldn't call it December 2019, right? We should probably just give it a name, right? Because it's continuous. This one is just going to be diesel data or something, right? After which you can update it with February 2020 data, March 2020 data. We'll keep on using this template, this particular one to update data. And I'll do the same for this and just call it kerosene data. And this petrol data. Sweet. Okay. So let's open Power BI. This is my Power BI. I'm not sure I have the latest version on this PC. I have on the other one, but let's go with this for now. Should be all right. Let me make it bigger actually. Max out. Have the new ribbon. If if you have Power BI and you need to update and use the new ribbon, all you have to do is come to File, then go to Options and Settings, then go to Options, right? And in your, I think, your global settings and under preview features, right? Global settings under preview features. You click on update a ribbon. Yeah. For people that want to use like decomposition tree visual as well, you can do that. Hierarchy slicer, shape map, etc. But yeah, I'm cool with this for now. So let's cancel. First things first is go to get data. Right. First things first, go to get data, and I'll go to. You can either connect with folder, right, and then from the folder you pull in. You pull in just the Excel files that you want from the folder. So I guess we could try that. Connect to a folder. And it's asking for the folder path. You can come here, click inside this address bar, copy that, right? And I'll paste it in here. I'll click OK. And you can see all the files, right? Inside the folder, including the PDF. And we used this method extensively last year when we were running like massive automation work on the Nigerian budget. So let's go to transform data. You can see we do it automatically. Say what to run the same transformation on each. There's a way to do this by creating like a function file and all that, but yeah, let me no, I'm going to make this very straightforward. I will we know that we need this, and we need this. We can decide to uncheck. We can decide to uncheck all the ones that we don't need. Um, this is what happens anytime I already have something planned, but then some other things are coming to mind. So we run the application, create a function file, run it on one, right after I run it on that, and everything. Okay, you know what? there's there's no point doing this, like creating a function file for this, and I think it's only 3 data sets. Maybe I'll hold another class of that later, but to avoid confusions, I'm going to delete this query. Right.
Oh.
Let's
I was waiting to see how you wanted to do it actually.
I think that's
Um,
another
let me-
course, you know,
yeah.
on its own.
I have an idea. How about you still using the same folder?
Yeah.
You add colon and use the custom colon thingy.
Yeah.
I think that is going to work and quite easy. I don't know.
Custom column to extract what?
Extract Excel.workbook, open bracket, content, comma true, and that's what shall I call it? That function.
So it's not that. How would I put it? It's not that we can't use this method, right? It's just I'm just wondering, like, is it worth it going through? Like, the transformations we're actually going to perform on this are very, very, just like 2 or 3 steps of transformation. So, do you need to create an automation function for this? And do we need to connect to a folder for this? I'm just trying to weigh the options.
Okay.
You know what? I think you can, yeah, you guys can try it later on in a different way. But let me just be straightforward here with this one. So I'll bring in diesel data, or I can still do the same sorry, I can do the same. It's just going to mean we'll have 4 queries. Okay, but let's do it. Folder, so I'm going back to the folder, back here, transform data. There are too many things involved with using a folder. So for instance, I'm just going to discuss a few things. For instance, now I if I uncheck everything here, like say uncheck this, uncheck this, um, and uncheck this, right? These are the data sets that we would need, right? For automation, know that you need to understand what your query is saying here, what your function is saying here. So it's essentially saying that you know your that it should select only data when it is equal to this, or when it is equal to this, or when it is equal to this, or when it is equal to this. So subsequently, right? Subsequently, if you add a new data set or whatever, and you wanted to use this folder option, no matter what you add into your folder, this function here is not going to pick it up at all, because you have, how would I put it? You have you have uh, you have explicitly stated that it should only select this data, 1, 2, 3, 4. So any other data set you have in there, it's not going to pick it up. But that's another thing. So this is why I'm not going via this route at the moment. One of the reasons why, actually, and also because at the end of the day, you're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 queries, right? Like to actually make this work now, perform some transformations, you need to right click on this binary and add as a new query, right? Which is this data set, which you can double click to bring in your Excel. It's a bit long. I'll just
Wait for one.
I will just no while about I will just be a bit more straightforward now. So I'll delete this. I'll delete this.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Yeah. My work at the office, it requires me to always update data. So just a quick question. What
Yeah.
would you advise? Would you advise I check the data I'm working with, or I the ones I'm not working with presently, like the ones you're unchecked now, may
Yeah.
it be a good idea to move it out from the folder and probably put it in a separate folder. So when you upload the other data into the folder, you just refresh it and you don't have to uncheck anything again.
You're correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
you would have, yeah, if I really wanted this to work straight away, I would take out all of this, so that I know that anything that goes into this folder, right,
Yeah.
is the data that is needed for the dashboard. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So let's take another route for the automation. Let's take a more straightforward route. Go to Excel, find the folder, diesel data 1.
You didn't finish the one with.
What do you say?
You didn't finish that of the food. I thought you just wanted to do it for one, probably as a sample.
That
It's
yeah,
a long route, right?
it would prove at the end of the day being a longer route. Because it's the
Okay.
most efficient at the end of the
Okay.
day, but it's a longer route.
One.
Um, also need this. Okay, so let's do this. So this is our diesel data, right? For some reason we still have some nulls there. So the first thing we need to do is to make first row as headers, right? This here. So we'll do that. We'll say transform, use first row as headers. Now, this is the interesting part. For you to be able to do any sort of like trend analysis, right? You need to ensure that your dates appear in a column. They have to be in one column, right? So I want to put all of these dates all the way up to December 2019 into a single column. Now, you might be tempted to, just highlight everything you need, right? To go all the way here, and then you perform an operation called on pivot. That works, but this is where you need to think about like your automation when you're going to update the data moving forward. So these data sets, right? Like if you think about it and you look at it very well, this data set from our Excel, there are some facts that we know, right? We know that one, the dates are recorded in columns, right? Two, whenever a new data set is available, right, it will come up as an extra column, right? So January 2020 will come up as a new column. February 2020 will come up as another column. But if in our transformation function, we highlight only a fixed amount of columns, like say we highlighted everything from here all the way up to here. If we highlighted that and then we unpivoted the column, our transformation code is going to explicitly use those number of columns for the unpivot operation. And then anytime you have new data sets, you're going to be having errors because you had fixed the number of columns to unpivot. Now, the solution to that, okay, I think first off, I need to remove null from here, right? Let's remove null. We don't want null anywhere here. Our solution to that is to say, hey, look at the unpivot operation, right? There are three options there. You have unpivot columns, you have unpivot other columns, and you have unpivot only selected columns. Those three are very unique, right? In this case, I know the exact format in which this data set is or comes in. And what I really want to do is I want to select this column, this state label column, and I want to say on pivot other columns, right? So that whenever there's a new data set, which I know will be another date, it's still going to be captured in that on pivot other columns operation. So I select your state label, right? And then I say, okay, this is it's only state label that remains the same. Any other column that comes after this state label should be unpivoted, because I know that any other column that comes will also be a date. So this is the correct operation to perform in this case. So you do unpivot other columns. Can you guys see that? So yeah, so now we have, yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
now we essentially have, we can call this our dates, but it's in text at the moment. We can change it to dates, which works. We also need to change the name. The header name to date. And we need to change this to price per liter. Right? And the format is decimal, which is, I mean, it has decimal points. So this operation, right? This operation is, I mean, this is essentially all we need to do. And then we need to do the same for the other two. Actually, I would like this to be here. We need to do this for the other two field types. So if we're running an auto, sorry, someone wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yes. Does it matter that the prices are running into different decimal numbers? What if we want to have it to, let's say, 2 decimal numbers? I don't know if it affects anything eventually when we begin to do the visualization. visualizations?
We can, there's something called, I think, the number functions there. You can round, you can do some rounding and all that, but I wouldn't treat it here. I'll probably do it in within Power BI itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I can leave it as is for now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's quickly bring in the other sources. Kerosene data, Terra. And we'll do the exact same things we did. Use first row as headers. Is there any null here? No null here. And yeah, and pivot other columns. Drag this here. Change this to date. And actually change it to date. And this is price per liter. Yeah, just 3 transformations. That's about it. And do the exact same thing for the last one. Petrol. Click OK. Transform, use first row as headers. Any null, no null. And you can tell straight away by looking at the green bar here, right? Tell you have 37 valid, of course, 36 states and 1 federal capital territory, and 0 error, 0 empty. So straight away. And while highlighting the states, we'll do something called unpivot other columns. And drag this here as well, change this to date, change the name to date. And this is price per liter. Enter. Yeah, so now we need to do something called an append operation, right? So just to briefly explain how that works, I think many of you already know how that works, by the way. Append operation basically combines, right, 2 tables. Maybe this is not the best way to show this. You can probably say this table is a bit short. So be different lengths, but it has to have the same amount of columns. And this table, which will lead to maybe this type of table. So an append operation will say, okay, combine these 2 tables together, right? So that it will lead to this longer table. That's what the append does. It's table 1 plus table 2. But then you need to ensure that they have the same number of columns, right? So in this case, you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. This is the header here. Plus this table, which have the same number of columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have a different number of rows, right? So this one, for instance, has maybe 1, 2 rows. This one has maybe like 10 rows. But at the end of the day, you'd have 2 rows plus 10 rows. This one will give you what, 12 rows. But you will still have the same number of columns. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? That's what That's what the append operation does, right? And it's also essential for you to ensure that the, what do you call it, the row headers, the column headers, excuse me, they have the same name. So if you have dates here, this also has to be date. If you have states in this one, this also has to be state. We have price per liter here, this has to be price per liter for the operation to occur smoothly, right? I hope everybody got that. So let me clear all these drawings, and I'm going to take a look at each of my data sets again. So I can see date, state, price per liter, date, look at what we have here. We have state label. So I'll change this to state. Price per liter is all right. I'll go to diesel as well. I have dates. I'll change this also to state label, to state. And we have price per liter. And I think we're good. So we need to combine all three into one. But before we do that, right? Before we do that, here is the interesting question, right? You think about, so after combining, right? How do I know, right, which fuel source it is? How do I know that this is diesel? How do I know that this is kerosene? Because at the end of the day, when you combine them, it's going to be one entire, in kerosene, you notice the prices in text. Kerosene. Thanks for that. So let's change this to sweet. So how do I know that, after we combine the three tables, that this is kerosene, that this is petrol, right? The solution to that is to use, is to create like separate columns, right? An additional column that you can call petrol, to just tell you that, okay, this is petrol, an additional column here to tell you that this is kerosene, and an additional column here to tell you that, awesome. So everybody is well. So how do we do this? If you want to add column, you can do it by adding column. I can also do it by taking the name of the worksheet as well. Let me see if we can actually do that. Yeah. Let me see. So from source, and then we navigated into this. We navigated into here, into the stuff directly. From the table, I can do it from source, right? I can do it from source, but let me try. Unless I am trying to be cheeky. Okay, first, let me show you the straightforward way. You can just say here, add column, right? Then go to custom column, right? And maybe the name of the column would be fuel. And then you quote this in text. So you say petrol, right? Just like that. No syntax errors have been detected. Click OK. You can see petrol is there. If I wanted to take it from source, So I go back to Diesel. I go to source. Remember the name of my sheet here is Diesel. And the way this navigation here has worked so far is the Power BI function just clicked on table to enter directly into the table. But then there's this expand operation here. This expand operation here. So if you do an expand operation, right, remove use original name as prefix and you click OK. Yeah, I want you to insert a new step. Look at what it does here. It brings in the same data set that we had previously, right? Along with the name. You can see the name, along with the name. Along with the name of the sheet, right? All the way up to like even the item name, the kind, all the way up to December 2019. So you might decide to start aggregating your data from here. And I'm actually going to do it so that you can see how it's done. I can see that it also brought in this other XN filter database that I don't need. So I can go back to the source from there, and before expanding, I can maybe filter for either I take out any hidden sheet. So if it's hidden, I don't want it. Or if it's not a sheet, I can filter by kind. So maybe let me filter by kind here. I want only sheets, right? So kind must be equal to sheets. So this is all I need. So if I go back to my expanded data now, you will see that you won't find any of that XN filter, blah, 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 right? Now, I want everything from here all the way to December 2019. And I can remove other columns. Yes, you want to insert step, blah, blah, blah. So I've removed other columns. You can see, so from here, I can see what I don't need this query anymore. Change type. It looks like change type works. So I just removed that query that wasn't making sense. So from removing other columns, I'm down to this. And promoted headers. Yeah. Change type. That looks all right. Filtered rows. That is, I removed everything that was null. Everything is looking all right. Then these unpivoted other columns now is another wahala, because filtered rows, state label, unpivoted. So from this point, previously we only highlighted this column and then we unpivoted other columns, right? We'd have to highlight both columns now, right? Actually, you can change this one now to fill. Fill, yes. You can highlight both columns now and do what? And run that on pivot other columns. On pivot other columns, yes. And then I would not need this one because it will give me an error, the one I did before. I don't need that. Yes, remove. Change type still works. Rename column still works. Reordered column still works. Rename column still works. So this one, I think we put it at the end here. And yeah, you can see how to achieve the same thing without having to type or create an additional column manually as we did for petrol. So petrol, you can see what we did here, and just leave it as text. And we have the exact same thing here. Diesel. Kerosene, just because there are a couple of steps that we've already applied. I would have done this from the beginning, but I just wanted to show you. So I'll just do this. I'll just take the easy way out here. Call this field, what is this? Carol, right? But just bear in mind that you can always improve your automation, right? By looking at the source files, right? The exact source files, know that, you know, there are other dimensions. You can play around with whether the data is hidden or the name of the sheet. Yeah, so I think we have the 3 data sets that we need. Now we need to append. So we go to home, then we go to append queries. And I want to append queries as new. I want to create a new query entirely. I want 3 or more tables. And I want these 3 rather, petrol, kerosene, and diesel. And I will click OK. Aha. So now we have an issue here. We're having four columns because there's probably there's one of the columns that has maybe a space or something. So we need to go through each and understand what's going on. This one, can you see it has a space?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So take out that space, we press enter. Let's check our append if it has changed. Boom, there we go. So we're good to go now. So don't forget, guys. So when I was saying that the column names have to exactly be the same, right? In programming or in Excel or anything like that, right? You need to, most times you need to match the case of the letter, whether it's uppercase or small letters, lowercase. You need to watch
It's
out
sensitivity.
yeah. Watch out for spaces. You need to watch out for underscore, for dots, anything like that can throw out an error. And for Abia and Abia with a space are not the same. They don't occupy the same space in memory, right?
In memory, yeah, exactly.
Because yeah, Abia is 4 letters, but Abia with a space is 5 characters. So keep that in mind. Yeah, we've essentially created we have like the model that we need, essentially our data that we need, the aggregate. So we can uncheck enable load because we don't need to bring these into Power BI anymore, right? Right click on the data set and uncheck enable load. And this one, maybe we can call it your data set or something. Right, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the operation. We can pause and apply and bring this into Power BI. think we're done. So let me look at my fields. Nice. Yeah. When you look at your fields and you see that, what do you call it? You see that there's a sigma option beside the field. It means that you can perform aggregation on that. By aggregation, I mean sum, count, average, minimum, maximum, etc. on that column. All these other ones are text as they should be, which is all right. So straight away, let's take a look at what is going on with the field type, right? Pull up a line chart on our axis. We're going to drop dates. Can use, want to see it like as monthly dates because I think that's what we have, month by month. We drop it at that, and then we can drop our fuel price and our values, price per liter, right? But you can see the stuff is probably summing everything for that month. That's not correct. We have 3 field types here. And don't forget, for each of these months, we have what? 37 states for each of those months. So the first thing we need to do is to turn this into a, instead of a sum, you look for an average, right? But then this average is telling you that in Nigeria, the average fuel price on June 2015, that is the average of the fuel price across all states for PMS, that's petrol, diesel, and what's it called, and kerosene is 151 naira. But this is still not very accurate because there are 3 fuel types in there, right? So what can we do? We need to drop fuel into the legend, right? Now we have an accurate understanding or an accurate view of the data set, right? You guys can see this, right? So this is, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. So average price per liter, that's what this is showing. Average price per liter. Average price per liter. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this works. If you wanted, right, let's say, if you wanted to drop this here, same stuff, and do price per liter into values, dates, yeah, you can do yearly average price. Put an average price here. If you want to see like a yearly average price, so then you want to see it by, they drop a slicer here. You want to see it by each field type, right? This is one of the advantages of building your data that way. What do you do? So now you can click on average diesel price, average kerosene price per year, average petrol price per year, right? If you want to see it like the entire stretch of June to December 2019, month by month, and click on the dates here and show this to you. So you can see the actual trend, monthly trend. kerosene, petrol. It's up to you. However you want to display it. Either you display it with a filter like this and ensure that people can't click 2. You only have to click 1. Because clicking 3, right, all together doesn't make sense. So for instance, here I would ensure that this selection controls, single select has to be on. So that you can only select 1, you can't select 2. So it doesn't make sense to select 2 or 3, right? You can see that in this particular visual. But in this one, you are essentially comparing the 3 together, right? Price per liter over time. Yeah, and we can see the last date here is what, December 2019, right? So what I want us to do now is to update our Excel backend with the new data sets and refresh and see what happens, right? So I'll minimize this. I'll go to this. Do it one by one. So we say this is data and this is data February 2020. Editing. So this is our diesel data all the way up to December 2019. So we'll go to our diesel February 2020, right? And all we need to do is copy January, February 2020. We don't want any of those calculations. We only want it up to here. So I'm copying this up to here. We do copy, Control C, and we'll go back to our diesel data and we'll paste. You can see that we'll paste it. Right, we'll save it. S, let me minimize it. I'll close this one. Open kerosene data and open kerosene 2020. So what do? You come to kerosene here. Are we in gallon or okay? We're in. Come here and do this. Copy all the way down. Copy this. And we'll go to our kerosene data. This is Kero. Go all the way to the end and we'll paste it. Right? Paste it. I'm not sure we have any. Okay, then we save. Minimize this and close this. And we go to petrol data. All right, I'll go to petrol 2020 as well. This is where we can get the 2020 data for petrol. Do this, go down. We don't need any of these calculations at the bottom. We can copy this, copy, then go to our petrol data. Yeah, petrol, December 2019, then we paste. We have January to February 2020. Awesome. So let's save this. Let's save this. Minimize, close this. Minimize, minimize. And let's bring up our Power BI. We can write the measure here to show currently our last dates, like our last reporting date. So let's quickly do that. I'll create a table for my measures, right? And I'll call it measures table. I'm going to load. In our measures table, I'll right click, I'll create a new measure. and I'll call it last date, right? It could be my report date, but then I know that it's the, you can do something called last date, returns last non-blank date in terms of like hierarchical order. And we use our field data set, the date from our field data set, and click OK. So let's check that. Let's see how that looks. We can do a card. Can see this 01/12/2019. Can change how it's displayed here in the date format. So you click on the measure and then you go to measure tools and you can change the format to maybe something like this. 1st of December 2019. What I really want to show is the month and the year, December 2019, report date. You can decide to be fancy as well. You can decide to be fancy by writing your own format. You can format the dates the way you want it to be. But that's all right for now. December 2019. So let's refresh. I'm sure you're excited to see whether this will break or it wouldn't. But yeah, let's refresh.
Error.
Look at you, Sadiq. So it is.
What you are expecting me that error will be thrown up, right? Why?
Who are those?
Of
Who
course.
are those? Who are those? Who are those bad belly now?
I can
Why are you expecting error?
Bad belle
Stop
people
that it
everywhere.
has happened.
It said column 56 of this was not found. The question is, what does it mean by column 56 was not found? And that's in Carol, right?
I think we have to check the previous step.
And then we have this. So it looks like Carol is, sorry, someone said something, you said something. What did you say?
I think we need
The
to check our
table, that's
previous
what they
step.
Yeah.
Okay.
So change type. So from this promoted headers to change type.
Okay.
So you can see
Column 56 has null.
but how do we get column 6? I want to see something here. Expanded data. Actually, we might have a little bit more like errors, to be fair. Because of the way I removed other columns here. How I removed other columns was to say, hey, select columns. What I did was to select columns and then we removed other columns. So I'm going to add, Power BI is so interesting, but automation or transformations are so interesting because you need to think about a few things. Here, where I removed other columns, what I did was I selected this all the way up to here. all the way up to here, and then we said remove other columns. But that's not what I meant to do. I meant to click these three, and do remove columns. I meant to remove this column. I will insert this step, that's fine. And then this remove other columns, I can delete it. I don't need that. And it should be fine. But then that's kerosene. Column 56. Column 56 of the table wasn't found. So let's go back to kerosene now and try to sort this out. Promoted headers. Yes. Anybody understand why it's being duplicated? Oh, 01 2019, 02 2019. This is all 2019, all the way up to December 2019. Let me just go back to kerosene and see what's going on. How many columns do we have from here to here? We have 57 columns. This is column 56. Interesting. See if I can delete all this first. Just removing those. Saving it again, and I will refresh all and see what comes up.
Can we refresh preview first?
Can we refresh what?
The preview first.
The preview.
Yeah.
Well, I just refreshed all, so it should refresh preview.
Okay. Okay.
So it has brought in the new data set, right? But we're having an error here for some reason. If I go back to change type, everything looks all right up until what? 01 2019. So this is December 2019, January 2020. So it has brought in all of this. Now, for some reason, okay, it's all right now. And let's go to change type. Right, so there's an error from these promoted headers, which is cool. And we'll go to change type, and it looks like there's an error in the code. So let's find where the error is. I don't need this change types. This bloody change type is always causing issues. Let me remove this change type. Remove now. Okay, delete. So that looks to solve it. Change type 4. I'm actually going to go to everywhere where there's this initial change type, promoted headers, right? And delete that change type. Delete it. At the end of the day, it shouldn't affect any of this. So I've done that for here and for here. And let me check for pet. So the thing is, by default, I always keep this. Anytime you do like promoted headers, use first row as headers. Power BI automatically applies this change type, transformation. If you want it that way, you can leave it, but sometimes it causes errors. So you should just have that in
That's
mind.
true.
I'm going to delete this, delete it, and yeah, we have this as rename columns. Everything should be all right. And our field data set, boom, we're fine. So, what did I miss here in our values? Oh. Look at this now. Our price per liter is not in decimal points for some reason. So our price per liter here is a decimal, and it should be all right. Yeah. So it looks like diesel. Did we not update diesel to December 2020? I mean, to February 2020. So why are we now having up to December 2019? This is diesel. Let me save it again. And let me refresh. So something is going wrong in our automation function for diesel. This is the thing with automation, guys. Just have to. Was it diesel that I used to extract the expanded data from? It was diesel. It was diesel. So from here, I wonder why it hadn't brought it in. Let me look at this data from here. Okay. And then when we expanded the data, it brought in only a specified number of columns. That's why. See, when we expanded this data, it brought in only a specified number of columns. So which was fixed at up to column 56. For some reason, see, it expanded and it shows everything up to column 56. So let me see how we can remedy that. Let me double click this expanded data, right? So rather than manually, right, picking all these columns, right, you can see we have some columns being omitted here. I will change that to select all columns. That's all. I will click OK. I'll change that to select all columns. And then we close and apply. And then just to test it one more time, we're going to add dummy data and see it has expanded this. So yeah. Guys, did they not reduce petrol price? Or what am I seeing here?
This is February now.
I know.
The reduced
Or
price
was
around March of April.
they reduced price in March, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's try this one more time. Let's add March 2020. So I'll increase this date by 1 month.
Price reduction does not go across Nigeria.
Say what, sir? So increase this, this is just going to be equal
Since we are
to,
doing average for the entire country, probably it's higher in some countries,
since we're doing average,
in some states rather.
yeah, we're doing an average of all the states. It should still be, man, I would expect it to still be evident that
Probably
the price had reduced.
some states might have probably major states did reduce their price or something. Let's look at the data set.
Okay, let's try this again. So we say times 1.005. Let's increase it a little bit, marginally, right? So let's say price has increased, not reduced. I'll do the same for everything here. So this is diesel, I'll save it. Then let's go to kerosene. I'll do the same. March 2020 equals this times 1.005. Very marginal increase, like a lot of money though. Save it, S, and then I'll do, okay, so that was diesel, then this is kerosene, then we'll do,
I'm sorry, will go.
what did you say?
I need a studio, right? Yeah, Corey will go.
So Dick, your your mic is out. Talking about and 1.005 and all the way down. This is March 2020. So let's save and let's go to Power BI now and refresh. Hope we're not missing something. March 2020. Sweet. Okay. Something is wrong with the automation function for diesel, and I think it had to do with how it's from this expanded data. Why is it not picking everything? Right? Why? There's one final column that isn't being picked here. Let me check something here. Have this data table, click on expand. Yeah, select all columns. Table dot expand table column. It's a bit weird though. What I have here. It's very, very weird. So if I do table to expand table column, yeah, filtered rows one, and then choosing the data column, of course. will only include columns ID and this record. Table of columns, my table transform it. That's an option. List transform into a list and table the transform to one side. It's a bit annoying that table dot, because I have table dot remove columns here. Now pivot other columns, remove other columns, table dot remove columns, that works. But here at this point, just because I want to be a bit I want to flex. It's been a while since I did some M, so I want to flex some M here. I will find another way to do this rather than clicking the table directly from here. So this expanded data is not working for what we want it to do. So here's what I'm going to do. So from here, I want to get this sheet name, right? To get this sheet name, what I did was delete. So the reason why we went through this route, the reason why we went through this route of expanding data of this diesel was so that, was so that we'll be able to get the sheet name automatically to add it as a column. So if you remember, for kerosene and diesel, we added a custom column, right? Added custom at this point. At this point, we didn't have the name custom column, but we added this manually here. Same with petrol, but for diesel, I want to see how we can do it automatically. This first method did not work the way I wanted it to. It's also possible to wrap this into table.select columns. Store the solution I was checking. First, get the name, the list of all the columns, but I don't want to run into any errors, especially now. So let me go into this level that says filtered rows. This diesel is essentially the name that I'm trying to get, right? And I want to know the code, the query that gives me that diesel name, that name called diesel. So I right click and I'll go to add as a new query. And you can see that the what do you call it? The name can be gotten by using this stuff called item equals diesel kind equals sheet, and then the name from that. So if I go to diesel, and then after this point, what I can do, bear with me guys, bear with me guys. I'm just trying to be a bit stubborn here. And right click on this, and then add a sort of blank query. I'll call it insert step after. Just a blank step, a custom step, right? And I will name it, rename. I'll rename it sheet name, sheet name, right? And then to this query, filtered rows one, I will copy this, I'll copy, and then I'll go back to that sheet name, and I'll paste it here, press enter, and you can see it has given me the sheet name, which is exactly what I want. Now, I want to go back to, I want to insert another step, right? Because this is only like something like a variable, it's a static value. I just wanted to extract that sheet name. And I'll right click, I'll go to insert step after again, click OK, right? And I can rename this step to back to filtered rows one. What I'm doing now is I want to link this query back to this row. This is exactly what I want it to be. So I'll come here and I'll change this because this query is a table. Well, this sheet name is not a table. That's why it's giving us error. So I want to go back to this table. And you do that by typing hash, and then you look for the name of that table, which is filtered rows one, and you can click enter. So now you're back to filtered rows one. And then from filtered rows one, since we're not going to be using this expand data, expand whatever anymore, I'm going to delete. Actually, I'm just going to navigate table. Yes, this is navigation. So we can have the entire table the way we want it to. Yeah, this is sheet one. Change type, we don't want any change type. So it looks like it cleared all the other steps that we had before. And yeah, I'll just perform the same transformations we did before. Use first row as headers. There's no need at this point to change any type. And I will pivot other columns, same way we did that. And I change this to date again. I change this to price per liter. And this becomes date. And this is decimal number. I can bring this here. I remember we call this states. I remember we call this a text. And our field column, right? Field column. Just because I don't want to type the name of the sheet, I want it to be picked up automatically. I can now come to my custom column and type field is the name of my custom column, and I'll reference this variable, this static value, that we had already extracted and we named sheet name. And I'll name it the exact way it appears, exact way we've written it there. No spaces, no small letters, and we click OK. And you can see it brought in the diesel name. That's another way I would have done this. Yeah, this one is not needed anymore, so I just wanted to see code for that. Our field data set is also not affected. We're good. And I can close and apply that. And there shouldn't be any errors. Yeah, so it looks all right. Now the final test is to now go back and remove this March 2020 that we don't need. Save it. Go to this, remove the March 2020 that we don't need. Save, and then go to diesel. Remove the March 2020 that we don't need, and then we'll save. And close this. And done the start. Refresh. So yeah, everything looks to be working all right now. Yeah. So real quick, let's take a look at visualizing this sort of this chart over like a map. Let's take a look at visualizing this over a map. So let's say, are you guys still there, or am I just?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, I'm here. We're here.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's round this up by first. Let me look at that coordinates data we have, which is Nigerian state underscore coordinate. So it has been, yeah, it has been broken down for us into all the states, the regions they're in, their latitude and longitude, right? Their latitude and longitude. So that's what we're going to bring into Power BI, right? We'll bring this into Power BI. We'll say Excel, get Excel data, bring Nigerian state coordinates, and yeah, Nigerian states. I'm not going to transform any data or anything at this point. I will just bring it in, transform data. Excuse me, look at what I'm saying. Okay. I said I wasn't going to bring it in. But yeah, one thing I wanted to ensure was the same is we need to ensure that all the state names, the way they are here, have to be the exact same way they are in in the state. And usually there are a few states I like checking. I like checking Akwa Ibom, I like checking Abuja, I like checking Nasarawa, and Cross River. Is it Cross Rivers or Cross? It's called Cross River. So I will use this. Let's check field data set. So here in our field data set, we have Abia as Abia, Abuja as Abuja. In Nigerian states, we had it as federal capital territory. So we have Cross River here. That's Cross River, and just a real check. We have Nasarawa as double S and Plateau, yeah, as Plateau. So how do you guys want to see it? Do you want it as FCT? Do you want it as Abuja? Do you want it as Nigeria or as Federal Capital Territory?
I think FCT is okay.
FCT is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Abuja is just like Ikeja.
So, okay. So FCT shortened or Federal Capital Territory? Which one?
FCT.
FCT, I feel.
Okay. So Nasarawa looks all right. Cross River looks all right. So we change this to transform.
Can do FCT.
So I'll copy this.
Shorten. FCT shorten.
Yeah. And I'll replace this, replace values. Find this, change it to FCT. Click OK. We're good. And we'll do the same here. Abuja here, we'll say find Abuja, change it to FCT. Cool. Decimal, decimal. Yeah, that looks all right. Then bring it in, or close and apply. Detecting relationships. If everything is all right, you should have, look at that, one to many straight away. Yeah, so you're good to go essentially. Like this is one of my favorite aspects of Power BI. This and
Really?
Power Query. Yeah.
Wow.
Because this is when you know that, yeah, your data modeling is on point, right? And you can, generally, you want one-to-many relationships. You want
Sure.
very little one-to-one relationships, and you want to avoid many-to-many relationships, right?
Too many.
So let's drop a Bing map. Simple. Just gonna drop a simple Bing map. We're using latitude and longitude. Drop this here. We will say so we go to Nigerian states, drop our latitude, and we drop our longitude. Look at the shape of Nigeria already, right? And you can decide to format this, right? When you click on it, you can change the data category, right, to latitude. Just so that Power BI always recognizes that as latitude and this one as longitude, right? So now we need to say, let's expand this bubble size or make it smaller based on the average fuel price, right, by state. So in this case, we can say, we're dragging fuel price to the size, but we need to make it, rather than a sum, we need to make it an average, which is all right, but then this average is faulty in the sense that it's taking the average of all diesel, kerosene, and petrol, right? So if we wanted to say use, actually we can make this bigger. If we wanted to filter this by field type as well, we can have this and we can drop our field type here. But now you know that if you filter by diesel, only diesel is going to show here, right? Which is not bad. Filter by kerosene.
The dad is so key and my mom have not yet done.
Eh? Who is talking? And then we have for petrol as well. It's also possible to use a heat map, right? To sort of show it possible to use a heat map. In this case, I will choose my colors. Different people use different sites. My guy Tosin uses Adobe Color Map. I use Color Brewer because they've been good to me. So I'll just copy these hex colors from here. Good. That. And then I need to make a few changes. First, I'll use a dark map, or maybe even a grayscale. Then I will change this radius, make it bigger. Maybe even a little bit bigger. Yeah, something like this. So you can tell straight away that these areas are more expensive for petrol. Also here, this area is sort of cheap. If you have Mapbox, if you have like a company account or something, you can download Mapbox, which tends to, how do I put it, which sort of has like better mapping, right? But yeah, we'll go for kerosene. These areas are also generally, and bear in mind, guys, that this, what you're looking at essentially, this average of the fuel price is the average of the entire 2015 up until 2020, right? So how do you, actually, I'll just.
Sorry, I don't know if I can ask a question.
Sorry, you said?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question. So
yeah.
You just go back. I was looking at, I don't know if we are looking at real data set or it's just random data sets. I saw that down south, the prices of petrols are actually more expensive than in northern region. I thought that maybe it would be cheaper around the south where we have where the production of the products have been more up. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my observation is.
So, like, we need to look at this in. Say, let me add another visual here. Add another visual which essentially uses. So you can see everything we're showing here is from 2015 to 2020.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can show an average of 2015. You can see there was no petrol data for 2015. There probably was for kerosene, right? So you can
Yeah.
see in kerosene for 2015, these areas were more expensive, right?
Yes.
This area as
Yes.
well. Let's add the states. You guys know what state this is?
Toby,
Yeah.
let me cut you, please. The map.
Yeah.
So I want to like
Araba.
just have a focus on Nigeria. I don't want all the states or countries around. I don't want Cameroon. I don't want any others. I just want Nigeria. Is that possible with this visual?
Not with Bing map. Not with Bing map.
Okay.
Yeah, not to bring map. On Mapbox, you can use something called a Choroplex. Which group are you in? Whose group are you in, Sadiq?
Drinks.
Drink. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I guess we can hold another, especially for the guys in your group. Because I know that John's group and Austin's group, they worked on Mapbox. So
Okay.
yeah. I don't think you should bother about that unless you want to just do like specific visuals. Anyway, so regarding the question that was asked, why is it a bit expensive or cheaper, and why is it more expensive in the southeast? That's that's what I've been wondering. I mean, for somewhere like here, right, Maiduguri, for petrol, it's understandable why it would be expensive later on. So you can see it's expensive later on. But Southeast historically has been expensive for purchasing like fuel. Like look at that, 2017, the average for the year 2018, you can see more like insurgency and stuff has led to what's going on here.
Hello, Toby.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, I think it's still the same reason why it's expensive in the northeast. It is expensive in the southeast. It borders around security issues or insecurity issues, as it were. Bunkry and the likes. So those regions are actually very, very unstable.
Yeah. Right. I mean, look at Port Harcourt here. I mean, oh, this is Bayelsa. This is Bayelsa. This is Port Harcourt here. Bayelsa is, wow, so expensive, like on average. But also, don't be fooled, right? Don't be fooled because the difference in price, right, might just be 3, 4 naira or 5 naira or 6 naira, right?
But that's a lot of money too, Toby.
Per liter,
Yes, sir.
yeah, in the oil industry, it is actually. Even 50 kobo is a lot of money because we're talking millions and millions of liters being moved every month. So that's a lot of money actually. So yeah, there's not one way to visualize this. There are different ways you can decide to visualize your reports. See, I've not done any monthly. So at the moment, when you click the year, then you can see what goes on average for the year in terms of oil, petrol price, as you can see from here. Yeah, and essentially just build the narrative that you want to show from this visual. And you can see how this is always changing. Report dates. So for 2016, the report dates, obviously, we only had 1 point for petrol, no data sets in 2015. 2017, it was showing the last report dates because that's the last data point that you have there. Yeah, and you can add different measures. You can do your month on month if you want to show it. So we'll be able to do a month on month for February 2020 here. So maybe I should just show you how to do that real quick. I will, what should I do? 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 Let me reduce this, put this here. So far, 145, excuse me, 145.3, 145.4, marginal increase, but still a lot of money. So if we wanted to say, let's calculate, I think we should be able to do that month on month for petrol. If we wanted to do month on month for petrol, the first thing is find the average petrol price at this dates, right? What's the average petrol price as at this date? So we can write a measure for that. Let me delete this measures table. Okay, so you can say new measure. Say current petrol. We do give me a second. So current petrol price, that is February 2020. We can say, let's first calculate the last date. We can say, we can create a variable for that. We'll say last date equals, oh, this is a reserved, I think this is a reserved word. Last date is the reserved word. Final date or something equals last date. We're taking a date from our field data set, right? And we'll say return. So this is a variable. Then we'll say calculate. We want to calculate, what are we calculating? Average fuel price, the average of price per liter. And because we're looking for petrol alone, so we'll say where fuel, that is the fuel type here, equals petrol, right? That's the first filter. I want to say where the fuel type is equal to petrol, and then where the date is equal to the last date, right? So where date, that is the date from the field data set equals to this final date that we calculated. Press enter. And let's see what that looks like. So we drop this and we drop our current petrol price. You can see 145.41. Check here, it's the exact same thing, right? 145.41. Let's check 2019. The last date is December 2019. What do we have here? 145.35. 145.35. So it looks to be working. We have 145.78. 145.78. Another way to calculate this, if I remember, let me try to work it out. So I will call it current petrol 2, current petrol 2, and just go straight into our calculate, where we want to say calculate the average of the fuel price. Where fuel equals, where fuel equals for the petrol, right? And we also want to say dates from our fuel data set is equal to I think this might give us an error about where is this from equal to the last date. Wait on. Actually, it's that from the data set equals the last date of the dates. But then you need to filter your fuel data set comma essentially apply a filter into your fuel data set. And the filter will be where the last date, where the date is equal to the last date. I think that should work too, but let's copy and paste this. And then for this one, let's add our current petrol 2. No, this did not work. This is giving me 154.82. I don't know where that is from. Unless 145.39, 145.3 this. This is not giving me what I want. Won't filter this unless we need to wrap. Unless we need to wrap this. Okay, so we want to filter this field data set where this equals to the last date. expression is already that.
Is it possible to filter all?
Let's filter all.
Like, no, inside the brackets, you put all there. I think I've seen something like that somewhere.
So we want to use all for this, right?
Or you can use all except last date now.
All except last date. All except removes
the all brackets, put it at the last, I think, after the dates, the bracket for that all.
You want me to put it here?
Like filter all, right? Then put the bracket of that all at the end of the date.
Hold on, someone's sending me something. I'm waiting for the month of Monday today. Yes. I'm just trying to see a different way to solve this. So Obina, you said filter.
Then all, right? Yeah, then you put that stuff you put on the date.
Date.
You say, hey, this is last date, right?
Yeah.
You know what you used last time? We have filter all this.
I have to check back on this filter, but I think it can work.
You know what you used last time? I said last first is equal to last date start, right? Equal to. You know what you said last time?
Yeah.
Filter all of that. What is it equal to last date?
So I did date. I did this equals last date of dates, right? This is what I did before. Will this work? If it works, it's a very long solution. Unless
I thought it did filter fuel data sets, comma, then the next stuff is equal to. Yeah, I think it's what you used last time, right?
yeah. Yeah, but this one is giving us a different value. I'm not sure it's giving us the right, this is not the right value. So let me take this out. Calculate an average of this, so that fine. Then we want to filter, need to filter this table, that's for sure. But then
yes,
this one works. But for this one, you need to create a variable, right? Okay, here is without using the filter function. If I had done this, right, and this is our second step, it would give us an error because, you know, the last dates have been using a true or false expression, right? And this is not allowed. What is this on my screen? You guys can see this annotation. Is it an annotation? What was that? Okay, it's gone. So this one is giving us an error, and it's because we essentially had to add a filter. But let me look into that a bit again. This one works, so you can calculate the current price of petrol as at the last date, the average price, by first creating a static or essentially a variable, right? and we pass that variable last state into our comparison function here, right? Which you can see now. So now we need to calculate previous month. So we say current petrol. Now we need to calculate previous month. And we can say new measure. We can say previous petrol. Maybe we can call it month, right? We can say equals calculate. Essentially, you want to calculate current petrol, but then you can use a function called date add, right? So you can offset your dates essentially and say you're using dates from your field data set, and the number of intervals should be, in this case, you're going back 1 month, should be -1.
-1.
And choose the interval as month, right? And this should ideally give you, so this previous petrol month should give you this amount here, which is 145.37. So you have 2019, the last date, current month, which is December 2019, is 145.35. The month before, 145.94, these two. And check 2018, the last date is 145.78. Previous month is 147.46, which is this. Now you can calculate your month on month, right? Does anybody know how to do that? You guys know how to do that, right? You know the formula, right? So you can write a new measure. You already know the formula, so I'm just going to say month on month petrol equals, so there equals current minus previous over previous. So I can use a divide function, and in my divide, the numerator is going to be current minus previous for petrol, comma, while the denominator is previous. That's it. So why did I use a divide function rather than using the slash operator for divide? Because the divide function better handles exceptions, right? If you divide it, if for some reason your numerator, the denominator becomes 0. Ideally, that should give you like an infinite number or something, but your divide will still handle it and give you maybe a 0 or something, which doesn't ruin your report, your view of the report. So let's click OK, enter. And if you drop that, here, your month-on-month petrol, you see a decimal number, right? Which you can transform into a percentage. And maybe, of course, a little bit smaller. So that's it. So compared to last month, petrol price has reduced by 1.14%. That's what it's saying. And you can essentially create, so you have to create like multiple like measures. So if you wanted to calculate, so you have your current petrol price, if you wanted to calculate previous petrol year, that is, you want to do year on year, so compare December 2018 to December 2017, you know, in your previous, where is it? This is your date add. You just change this month to what? To year. And that should work. So if it comes to 2020, same thing, it works. Difference between this month and last month was just 0.03%. That is, it increased by 0.03%. Did I get a question? If you were to compare June and July instead of last month of the year, so if you want to do June and July, you'd have to introduce, it's that you write the measure explicitly to say, okay, where month equals to June or something, or you just use your filter here. All you need to do is add another filter here and add month, right? That's all. So if, for instance, in this year, you don't have March, so you're going to have like errors here. There's nothing in March, right? But you have February, right? Which still works, right? If you wanted to do, let's say 2019, and you do, so you want, okay. So it looks like our code here is breaking when you click on this month, right? This, so it's meant to give us the previous month. So what we need to do should be, I think we can wrap this into, so we'll say fuel, data set, oh no, excuse me, scale A. I think we can do this. We do this. We have this and that. I can press enter. So I give putting an all here. No, it's taking everything. It's not. Hold on one sec. Okay. So probably best, since we're using this current month, probably best to I think in this our current petrol, if we remove this last date, It's because our current petrol is already like our current petrol is already formatted to take the last date of the report. It's already formatted to take the last date of the report. So let me see something real quick. Let me see. Documents. Okay. So what we're trying to do now is it works, but then we want to see how. First, you have to add a year, pick a year. And in these are visual, you shouldn't be able to click like 2 years. I think if you click 2 years, it will break. Or you should just take the last date of that year first. Or is it because we're holding, okay, because we're picking a month there. Trying to see how I can pull out a way for us to click a month and it automatically pick. Is it possible to use this? Let me see this. Previous petrol. I'm going to write another one. New measure and say and say so we're going to say current, no, previous petrol, no, but previous petrol month 2 equals calculate current petrol, nope, current petrol. I can use something called previous month. We use dates. This probably does the same thing. Let me see. So many different ways to write the same measures. First, previous month 2. And if you click on this, okay, that doesn't work either. I'm having, thanks. I'm having, I'm just going to try one more thing, and then if that doesn't work, then so we can say Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's try another one. So this is our current petrol, right? Let me reduce this report date, or let's just put it at the top here. You know, like December 28th. So current petrol, the previous petrol, these are the ones that we know that have worked so far. Let's now write another current petrol. So in my current petrol 2, I'll rewrite it, and I will say calculate this, where this is this. And then rather than use where date equals to last date and all that stuff, I'll use like a more intelligent function, which is maybe dates month to date, right? So dates month to date, and I'll quote my dates into that, and I'll close that, and that should work. Oh, it just took light, but then we're back up. Just give me a sec, my screen is loading. Ooh, dates month to date. So copy, paste. In fact, this stuff doesn't affect any of these visuals because we've quoted this or hard coded it only for petrol. All right, so let me take this out. Current petrol, no, we want current petrol 2. Let's see what that gives us. Current petrol 2. Nice. So you can see current petrol 2 works. Right? And if I click on April, to change that date, that works, everything's all right. Current petrol 2. Now let's try previous, what is it called? Previous month 2. Previous month 2 will now be this. Calculate current petrol 2. Current petrol 2 is already for petrol. So here we can just go straight to date add, right? For dates, where we're going one date backwards, and the frequency or the interval is month. And then we close that. So this is another way to write it. Multiple ways to write the same function. Let me copy and paste this. So I'll drop this down. And I'll drop my previous month to there. Oh, it's working. Now let's try to click a particular month. Why is it not working? Why is that? It's possible.
Is the filter not working on the card visuals? I think it's working on it now.
This?
The filters. Well, it's not working on. It's not filtering the card visuals. It's not affecting it.
Since our petrol, right? It's very weird. Okay, let me try something. I hope it's not, because for it to be lame, for this to still be asking me for to type petrol here. Be a bit lame. Exactly what I thought. that first one was using date, month to date. I mean, the second one was using date, month to date. Unless we say we actually filter once filter this field data set, and we'll filter it using this. And that is also giving me the same, it's giving me the exact same price. I'm probably missing something.
Instead of filter, take out filter, use all.
I should use all.
Filter. Then use all bracket dates, comma, then the last function.
So we use all.
Yeah.
And then all for all is taken.
The dates table.
Just the date.
Yeah, comma, then that's all.
But this one, this is
take out one bracket at the end, I think. Right? This bracket, all brackets. No, after the date, a bracket. After the date, a bracket there.
So
after
two
date,
filters.
bracket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Filter this.
Yeah, like that.
Filter that. Let's see that. Hold there. There's no me at this point. February works, but then it should automatically give me, I mean, the month to date. Wait, this is working, but then the moment you click February, it breaks. Like if you click January, for instance, right, this should be giving me the one for one solution to correcting this is probably like maybe creating a date table. Yeah, I bet creating a date table is going to solve this for some reason. Like in all my models, I always create a date table rather than using the month. So hold on. Let me see. If we say let's try one more thing. Final thing, and then I'm going to eat. I'm done. Where is it? New table. So let's create a new table. And I will call it date table. So this one is I use formula calendar. The start date will be from my date column from the field data set, and the end date will be from field data sets as well. Nope, I didn't close this final bracket. Okay. Why is it still giving me an error? Unexpected. Hold on. Oh, I need one more. var calendar date equals calendar. Name and maximum. Oh, I'm missing a closing bracket here. Okay. So I have, okay. I actually have a formula here from, so I have calculate values of field of the price. Why do you use values? Why not an average? Okay. And then the last date of date add of date year to date of field. Okay. Have you? Okay. Oh, I'm going to try this one. So let me just quickly run through this. I'm just going to say generate. I'm going to say calendar dates real quick, and then I'm going to yeah. Of my dates. Month equals month of my dates. Okay, I don't say variable, maybe day or something. Equals day of my dates. Then we'll say year equals year, month equals the month, and then we'll say month name equals to month name. We'll say day equals to day. Then we're done. Then we'll mark this as our date table. And okay. So I can easily model this into this. And I want to see if actually here should be month name now. Cool. And then here should be year. And then this should be date. We can take out the other one, which works. And then let's quickly see our current petrol, which is this. We use last date from there, but then maybe we can use date from dates table. Right, and then this this. Dates from our dates table. Right? So same calculating an average price of fuel for petrol where, yeah, this is where you should say our date is equal to this. So our date from here is equal to the final date. But then because oh my, I feel like I have broken some things. But bear with me, guys. We're almost there. Date from our date table. Okay. Okay, so that's working. Our current petrol price is also working. Yeah, but then actually let me use this one I was using here, which is this one's date of dates from our date table. So that's our primary date table now. Right? Dates months, date of our date table, and this one, our previous month, we did this. But then we're using field data sets. We're meant to be using dates from our dates table. And we're moving a month backwards. So this one even works better. The moment you do months, you can tell that there's no January and February. Okay, so let's see if we do July now. Sweet, there we go. So it works now. I can delete this, I can delete this, I can delete this. So we can try it. So at the moment, it's picking dates month to date. Current price is from here, which is 145.35. The previous month is what? It's 145.95, right? Just so that let's say we remove the filter of month from this chart. We can say view, format, edit interactions. So I don't want this chart to filter this chart. I don't want it to filter by month because it doesn't make sense. So if I do February, March, this, that, it doesn't affect this chart, right? So let's say, we need to arrange this. It's not arranged. This month. It's a month name. We need to sort by month. Has it been sorted? Sort by month. Okay. So now we can see January ordered all the way up to December. And we want to test the month. We will say May. Click on May. May 2019. So April, May. Our current price for May is 145.03. You can see our previous month is 145.92. So you can see that works. Yeah, it's just makes things easier or more intuitive when you have a date table. Yeah, and then yeah, you can modify your month-on-month petrol now to say, actually, I don't need these other ones, like current petrol. I can just delete that. Delete that one. And yep, previous petrol month. I'll delete it as well. Press enter. And I'll rename this to just current petrol. Press enter, since that's the one that works. And then previous petrol months, I'll just rename this as well to just previous petrol month. And then our month-on-month petrol should still work now, which is this, which we can bring into the charts here. Month-on-month petrol, sweet, minus 0.61%. So let's reduce this a little bit. Yeah, so that's it. That works. And if you want to see December, we go all the way to like January, right? January 2019, right? January 2019. What you have here, you have 145.70, right? 145.70. The previous month is December 2018, right? So if you go to December 2018 to check, let's filter this out and go to December. No, let's confirm the price. 145.78 is what we're looking for in December. No, December 2018. 145.78. Can you see? So it works flawlessly. Yeah. So that's that. Does anybody have any questions? I'm actually feeling a bit famished, but this.
After finishing your abracadabra.
Actually, there's a formula that someone sent. The only thing I added was a date table. Like I didn't change, like my measures should have worked, but it only applies when you have a date table. I don't know if anyone can see this, but then so I have this formula to calculate the previous month date. Let's try it. This is another one. But now I already have a date table. So
Are you saying that the date functions they work better with the table?
yeah, of course. So I had this formula that was sent to calculate values. Values does the same thing as, or similar to what you have for distinct, isn't it? Values, when you give it, returns a single column table of unique values. Yeah. When a table name is given, returns a single unique values. So calculated the unique values in fuel price per liter, and you did so you said calculate the last date from date add of date year to date. So first, the date year to date. Oh yes, I think I'll use a date year to date. Date year to date, and who sent me this? What's this date here? What's this date here? Let me see. I do this. I don't know. So this maybe what, like month or something. So date yet date of this. Date yet date was for these dates. So the entire date for that particular, right, and then you move it one step backwards. Maybe the last date. So we did this. Maybe this is calculate values of this. You're returning a single column of unique values for that. And then you do last date. Wow, guys, my head is banging. I'm not concentrating again. But yeah, this is probably one of the most efficient ways of designing it if you want to. Add a date table, and one thing I like about the date table is, as you can see, previously without adding a date table, when you click 2020, you would still see January to December, right? But because the date table is intelligent, and in particular, I created my date table from my actual dates, the minimum dates and the maximum dates that you can find in your field data set. And then you have a formula called generate function here. So what that does is it calculates what's it's for each. So for each row of data that you have in this first table, so you first have a table. It accepts table 1 and table 2. So for each row of data in the first table, it runs an expression for each row of that table. And when you declared your calendar date here, your calendar date just generates, day. What am I saying? It generates single dates within every month. So in January 2020, it would generate 31 days. In February, it would generate 29 days or something like that. Maybe it's a leap year. So, and what I'm trying to do here, using all these, first created a variable, and then you run a row function. What I'm trying to do essentially is saying that for each date that you have there, so for 1st of January, extract the year, extract the month name, and extract the date. And you do that for each row of data up until the maximum date that we have in our field data set. And
so technically, is this the DAX for creating a date table?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, you can add many more things to it. You can add first day of the week to your date table. You can add weekday, whether you want it to show Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you want to do, you can do that here. And the back end looks like this. ¿Dónde está? Open up now. Date table. So you can see it looks like this. It's automatically formatting as date time, but I'm formatting as date. So you can see 1st of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of January, all the way up to the last date that we have in our data set, which is 1st of February 2020. So yeah, and yes, you essentially build a star schema, which is what you want for your data modeling always. All right, guys. Thank you for the audience so far. It has been great. I'm famished, and thank you for all.
Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is there any other question before I'm out?
Okay. Is this recording going to be made available?
Yeah, I'll work on it and make it available.
Okay, thank you very much. So I should, in case we need to do a recap, we just have to go over one or two things.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Toby.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toby. You're the best.
Thanks, bro. Take care.
All right.